Whispers of the breeze, secrets unfold. It's you that I need, it's you that I want. When the world gets cold, it's you and me. When the sun comes back, you'll see. Oh, dandelion, the strength that you've shown, stronger each year. Look how we hold on through the toughest of times. We still stand strong through pavement.
So we've got a new arrival.
Claire's pregnant.
What? So I've got my gloves in my pocket. A new arrival has come this morning in the form of cardboard boxes. Oh shit! Cardboard box is open.
Really?
She's talking to me.
Well, at least they didn't try and
We
get
had
it.
a little top on that. Right.
Ah, they're very light. They're very warm.
Hello! We look away quick. Hope that's not the one that pecks.
Really?
Put them on top of each other.
The one that's going to peck is going to be on top next to my face. Is that right, Claire?
I don't know. So when we got them, we were told that there's one feisty one. We don't know which is the feisty one.
One next to my eyeball.
But what we got, Roo? Let's see what the duckies think of their new friends. Are you coming in? Come on. Come on.
Camera. What's going on here, guys?
You got some friends. Got some friends? I don't want any friends. I don't know, like... Are you coming in, Rooney? Come on.
Come here.
Come on. Well, if I put them into their house, it's very small.
Ducks know which house theirs is.
So should we put them in the back?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should. Okay, so we're new to this, so
Oh, there's two in there.
yeah. Ah, aren't they lovely? Which one is yours? The feisty one?
Well, there's one down here I hear is pecking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So we're thinking we should put them into the back house so they know which is their house. So we're gonna...
Jeez, this is a really heavy one.
We'll go and take them around the back. House
Right, so.
number 2. So we haven't got perches in here yet, or nest boxes, and I actually need a piece of wood to block that off.
You don't want them going in there?
No, because this is fine for 5.
Okay.
But I need to put some perches up high.
Okay.
So I don't know what they're gonna do, but
I like your sawdust.
Rooney,
No,
Rooney, out!
well, there's no harm now.
So I don't want you going in there. I have to block it off. The other one. Come on, girls, out. Rooney,
They don't
get
seem
some
bothered
peck.
by Rooney though.
Get
Sure they
some
don't.
peck and then you know all about it.
Well, no harm.
Look at this one. The heavy one's stuck.
I expected them to be a lot smaller, Claire.
They're only babies. No, that is a problem. Ah. Fatty.
Gosh, they're quick. Just like Rocky when he had to try and catch the chickens.
Come on, duckies! Come on, duckies!
Standoff.
Oh, they have, yeah. Who are they? And we got some new neighbours.
One leg up. Look at her. And they're all female as well. What's with all the estrogen, Claire?
We need some eggs. They're meant to lay us eggs in a couple of weeks. I said, how many nest boxes do they need? I said, I was only planning on putting 2 in. He goes, oh, 1. 1 is fine. They'll all use it.
Really?
He says, I have about 10 or 12 in a run. They all use 1 nest box.
Okay.
Who are they?
They're all falling off the edge. Oh no. Good girl, you put them to bed. I should get them out. So we have a problem with the mother cluckers. Look at this for a sunset, guys. Do we live in the most beautiful place in the world or not? And it's so nice our mother cluckers won't go into bed.
I actually think they might be.
Have they gone in?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm just double checking that all 6 books are in the right place. There's no chickens.
The last few nights the chickens wouldn't go into their roost and they were kind of keeping the ducks out from their house, but are they good?
I just have to give them their water.
Wow. I don't know, can you see that? But they're in there. Locks, right. So open at 240, close at 137. What's the reading now? 166. Like, come on.
So why is it closing?
It didn't close.
Oh, it didn't.
No,
Okay, no,
so it's
it
reading
really does need to be.
That's wrong.
Yeah, it needs to be set to, obviously, I don't know.
Sensor delay.
So we're just having a problem with the chicken door because it doesn't seem to want to go down because it thinks that the luminosity is more than it is.
Exactly.
However, the duck door is on the timer. So that just goes down at, I had it go down at 7 and they were all in. Now the ducks are great. The chickens are good now. They actually had all gone in. I was looking out a minute ago before I came out and there was one still out. So they're only just gone in.
Radio comms. No.
For me, I prefer them to be in at this time.
Okay.
So let's see how we go.
What a beautiful sunset we have.
Yeah, we do have one hell of a sunset tonight. And the last couple of nights it has been amazing. We do have another problem with the chickens in that they're not wanting to sit on their perches. If anybody has this issue, we put one perch in and they don't want to sit on it, and I've heard that they have to sit on a perch to go to sleep, and that actually it's by law you have to have perches in your house.
By law?
Yeah.
What law?
Animal husbandry law.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So if they're not sitting on their perches, they're not sleeping properly.
And what if you have a perch and they don't sleep on it? Are they like rebels?
Well, at the moment they are rebels.
The chicks are like, I ain't sleeping no perch.
They all just like sitting on the shavings at the bottom of the house.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to just cover something that I think everybody thinks about, and everybody has this as a bit of a headache. So I thought it would be a really interesting subject to cover, and that is, what do you feed your dog? There are thousands of dog foods out there, wet, dry, combination, all sorts of things. You can now buy frozen food, packs for your dog, fresh food, all sorts. And I just thought I'd cover this because we found when we moved down here, well, we found really from the start, from having Rooney, that she isn't a massively food-driven dog. She is a toy-driven dog. If you give Rooney a choice between a squeaky duck and a bone or a treat, it's going to be the squeaky duck all the time. So she isn't driven by food. So she would leave kibble, she would leave food, she's no interest in it. And so I wanted to get something or somehow nail down a way that I knew that she was getting the proper food, but also a good food, but also was something that she would just eat every time and not turn her nose up at. So we went down the road of investigating raw dog food and dog food from the butchers. So this is what we do. Lots of people probably will have views on this. I'm just going to tell you what we do because this is a whole lot cheaper than buying kibble or your tins of wet food or whatever. You don't have to deal with any of that. Now, there are things that we're going to see in a minute what we do and what we have to deal with, but it is something that she eats every time and it costs a fraction of the price. So what we do is, I'll show you how it comes. So we buy just raw meat from the butchers. I get it in a kilo bag, a bit like this. And the kilo lasts maybe 3 or 4 days with Rooney. Now I'm going to add a couple of carrots to this. So it just kind of stretches it out a small bit. And she particularly likes carrots. There isn't many things. The ducks absolutely love peas. Rooney hates peas. She will leave every pea in the bowl if I put peas in it, which was an easy remedy, which I thought would be an easy one because you can just buy a bag of frozen peas and add it to her food. But no, she wasn't having any of that. But she does kind of like the taste of carrots, so I just add a couple of carrots. So meat comes like this. We buy a kilo of raw meat for $2.80 from the butchers. Okay, that's a fraction of the cost that you're going to buy kibble for, or whatever food. You can compare it to whatever you're feeding your dogs at home. So I leave that. We now have a tray. This is called the dog food tray, and I leave this out overnight. And now so then it just looks like a big lump of what looks like just a big lump of mince. It smells like mince. It looks like mince. There's nothing different really, except that it's probably full of organ meat and all sorts of meats that they don't sell in the butchers. So they freeze it automatically when they have it, and it comes like this. This is beef. Okay, so this is all cow. So it looks a bit like this. I take it out of the bag, just like a big lump of mince. And what I do, so now some of you are probably asking, what the heck are you going to do with this now in the baking tray? Well, Rooney won't eat this raw. A lot of dogs will. I know of a lot of dogs who get this. There's a Labrador and a setter and a Springer and a Retrieve and a Terrier who also they buy this meat, or they get this meat, and they will eat this straight out of the bag raw. If you have a dog like that, you are laughing. But mine really won't. We've tried, and she just won't eat it raw. She turns her nose up at it. She will not touch it. She would go on starvation for a week rather than eat this raw. So what I do with it now, because she won't eat it raw, I was like, well, this is what we do now, because this is how they're meant to have it from the butchers. So the butcher, so I thought, right, okay, what are we going to do? We're going to try and cook it. So what I do is I spread it out in the tray, like so. I am only doing this every 3 or 4 days, so it's not like you have to do it every day. And then I store it in the fridge, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's like that. I'm going to grate a couple of carrots into it. The dog doesn't care whether peeled carrots or not, so I'm just going to grate the carrots in. You could alternatively chop them in or chop them up small, or however you want to do it. You could add peas, you could add any kind of greens, you could add potatoes. Again, really not big into potatoes, which is a pain in the ass because we have quite a few leftover potatoes. So I'm going to grate these in. And this, I just think this is a really interesting subject because everybody goes through the dilemma of like, what should you feed your dog? And the range of dog food that's there and the price of some of it is just like, you know, you might as well be feeding another adult in the family a week, the cost that you're having to put out. So I think if you can just create something yourself or make your own. Well, I had always wanted to do this where we lived before, but I'd never really gone down the route of it. I suppose we were always working and, you know, the daily routine, you've enough going on rather than having to make dog food as well. Looking after the dog. I haven't tried this yet on the cats. I haven't gone down that route yet, and I actually think the cats will probably eat it raw, so we probably wouldn't even have to go to this trouble. But it is something I want to do with them as well. I just feel, you know what's in, there's nothing added to the meat. There's no preservatives or stabilizers or anything added to this. So it's just raw meat and carrots. So what I'm going to do with this, I have been experimenting slightly with this. I'm going to add just a very small bit of water just because I don't want it to dry out, and also it kind of helps to bring a bit of the fats to the surface. And just keeps it moist. Now, I'm not going to add the rest of the carrot. I think we have enough carrot in there. So, it fills out the tray nicely. I'm going to cover it with foil. I actually have some foil that I use each time I do this. So, can be just reused rather than using it each time, a new bit each time. Cover it up with foil because you kind of want the steam to kind of work on the, well, this time I've grated the carrots, but the last time I had just chopped them, and it just helps to kind of soften the carrots a small bit and cook it through. And I'm going to put that in the oven at 180 for about 30 minutes. And I'll show you in a minute.
She's not as much playing as being.
You're not escaping me. You're not escaping me.
So Rooney's food is just about to come out of the oven, and I'm going to show you that in a second when it comes out. This is just what we had left. This was the last batch that we made. And so I'm just going to feed her breakfast now because she's due breakfast. So that's what it looks like. I put it into these Tupperware containers, and then it goes into the fridge, and we get like 3 or 4 days out of it. She gets fed in the mornings and in the evenings. I was measuring how much I was feeding her. It was maybe 200 grams or so. Now I just eyeball it. And she kind of just eats. I kind of have an idea now of what she'll eat. Sometimes I will say sometimes she's not hungry. And I think that might be just that it's very filling, and organ meat is really, really filling. So perhaps she doesn't feel like she needs it. Sometimes she just she doesn't look for it. So we kind of tend to feed her when she looks for it, really, more than kind of, you know, obviously morning and evening, but not kind of all the time. So I'm just going to get a little bit out and pop it in her bowl. It looks a bit like that. And we'll see if she wants some. Rooney, want some breakfast? It's a day now, because you've just given her something.
Let's give it a sniff test. Any seasoning? Yeah. Smells good, Mum, but I'm not that hungry. I'll have a bit, will I?
Are you going to eat your breakfast?
She's like, you never stare at me. What's in it? Is that drugs? Am I going to the vet?
Come on, eat your breakfast. Come on. So we do tend to get this a lot, where she'll have a wander around. She'll have a sniff it out, wander around. And even if she's absolutely starving, she still does this. And then she settles in and eats it. So that just shows, I don't know, she's just not food motivated in any way. Is she?
No. We had to do this thing where we would feed her a pouch of wet food, but we had to make a very particular sound whenever we opened it, and we needed to give her a lick of the wrapper, and this we used to say was her starter.
You used to do that.
I did,
yeah.
but do you think she'd eat it all?
I think she will, yeah.
She had a big day running around yesterday in the good weather, although it was just misting there a few minutes ago.
So in the meantime, we'll just quickly take out what I have in here.
Woo! Smells great, Claire. Are you cooking bread or
It
turn
smells
off the oven?
doggy.
I think it smells nice.
And this is what it looks like.
That's the sound of an empty bowl. Yeah. She licking it clean.
Oh, Rooney. There's nobody giving you any more scraps.
Well done. That looks like you
So
put
this
bits
is
of
what it
cheese
looks-
in it.
No, that's the carrot. And this is how it looks when it comes out. And what I tend to do,
Is use the black plastic spatulas that we don't use for our own food.
yeah, is just give it a little mix through. Actually, I don't know why I just took all the tin foil away. But anyway,
You can put it back on, just steam it, is it?
yeah, I will just steam it out through. And then
And like clockwork, when Rooney finishes her dinner, she needs to go outside to use the facilities.
yeah, ready for food.
Okay, Rooney, down the bottom of the garden, please. Thank you very much. And she's off. See ya.
I'm just going to shove it all in now. So I've broken
Would
it
you
all
not put it
up.
on top of this one, no?
No,
Okay.
because that's the last days. Like, it's, if you think about it, this is fresh meat. So like, you know, it only has a shelf life of I don't know what. So it should be treated like that.
So you're cooking a roast for Rooney every other day, yeah?
Every 3 or 4 days. Every 4 days, I think. We nearly get out of it. And you can see there's a lot of juice in the bottom, and I add that into the bottom because what I find is it comes up to the top and forms a layer there, and she likes eating this fat.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's all good.
You know, every time you pull out a piece, there's kind of juicy tallow layer on the top. I'll leave the lid off.
Just in case there's any cats around, because the cats do love this as well.
The cats do like this. Like I said, I haven't got round to trying them on it. I think, yeah, it's just a case of doing it really. It's not, there's no other reason. There's 3 of them, so, you know, there's just a little bit of organisation in it. But hopefully for cats you wouldn't have to cook it. And if you were doing this yourself, you maybe don't even need to cook it for your dog. Like I said, there are 3 or 4 dogs that I hear go into the butchers and have no problem eating this raw. And if you've got a dog like that, you are laughing.
But we can do it, but what you need to do is you need to introduce it slowly, because she wouldn't eat this at all when we first got it. She wanted her kibble, so we had to mix this with the kibble and bring up the percentage. So now, because she doesn't like raw food, I think you just need to introduce some raw and just keep doing the percentage.
Mix it, yeah, maybe we'll do that. I don't know. Or I'm going to end up cooking for the dog for my life. I don't know, one or the other. But anyway, I'm going to leave that there.
It'd be nice to freeze it in sachets, actually, wouldn't you? If you did a huge batch of that.
You could, I suppose.
You could take out a week's.
If you're super organised. Yeah. If you wanted, like, there's a little bit involved in it, but if you were just to get your bag of your raw meat from the butchers, you could just put it straight into this and then just give her a little piece each day, which is, I guess what everybody else does. This is still a little bit left. It's lashing. From the last day. So yeah, just I think it's just something that everybody should maybe just look into, because I think not so much with cats food, but the dog food is just crazy expensive. And if there's an easier way or a cheaper option, which is healthier, I feel, there's nothing added to this whatsoever. We've added nothing, only water and carrot. So it's as good as anything. And we do notice that she is super shiny, super, bright-eyed, isn't she?
Yeah.
She never has gunk in her eyes. She never has dirty ears. She never suffers from any kind of problems really at all.
Yeah.
And every time I take her on a walk, I took her on a walk this morning. Every time we have a walk, we always do a normal poo on the walk. There's no diarrhea or anything like that. So what I'm just saying is, I think that this is a better option. Rooney's been on it for about 6 months now, and we see massive benefit.
So is Rooney on carnivore, you're trying to say, really?
Rooney is a bit carnivore now.
Do you think Clem will turn into a supermodel if she goes on it?
Clem might turn into a supermodel cat if she went on it, yes. The kitties might do a whole lot better. I don't know. I do notice that one of the cats, our original cat, Toffee, suffers from where she loses her hair around her eyes in the winter, and she's just kind of coming out of that now. And I just wonder if I had her on this kind of diet, I'm sure it would clear that up. So yeah, we will have to try and get the kitties on it. So that's the end of Irish Country Life for this week. And I just want to say thank you to you all. It's been a funny week. Rob has been quite ill this week with an allergic reaction. We don't quite know what from, but he's come around now. So that's why he's not with me today. And he's the cameraman. But so yeah, it's been a funny old week. So we've kind of had to just slow it all down a little bit. There was an awful lot of manual stuff went on last week, as you know. So hopefully we'll be back to normal next week again, and we'll see you all then. Gurv Mila Mahakut and Slanga Fall.